in good company. And we're back at it after a nice Eagles win against them Cowgirls.
The Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys.
We the ones.
Right, you're in the NFC.
We the ones. You look at the NFC standings. We the ones. Everybody else is the twos.
Yeah, Eagles definitely leading the NFC East right now. Cardinals leading the NFC West. Lions in the NFC North. Falcons in the NFC South. I mean, out of all those number ones, I definitely think Eagles are the team to beat for sure this year.
It's probably Detroit is up there for sure.
Detroit's good.
Vikings found a way to win a close football game against a pesky Jags team today. But overall not been as impressive the last couple of weeks. The Eagles are just sitting there stride, man. Like that defense, we said it's like second quarter, they're dialed in. Right?
Yeah, they are.
They are dialed in.
Vic got them boys locked in. Doing their thing for sure. What you think about the game today?
I think it was a easy win, which is good for an Eagles franchise. To we usually split with the Cowboys every year. It's either we win one, they win one. But this one kind of just seemed like it was a gimme.
For sure.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott was out. Cowboys haven't been great this year. Definitely a tough game for them. But they were playing in Jerry World. So it seemed like it should have been a little more competitive, but Eagles just really came out and put it on them today.
I think at one point up to last year, the Cowboys had won like 16 or 17 games in a row at home. But that's obviously changed with their 3-5, now 3-6 season so far. So, obviously this gets us happy beating them down. Defense is playing good. Jalen's been, arguably the best quarterback in the NFL over the last month.
Yeah.
And now a month and a half because we're 2 weeks in
Lamar.
November now. So, yeah.
I play a little devil's advocate.
Yeah.
He did have 2 turnovers today. We're not going to just act like we're dismissing that.
Okay.
But it just shows the resilience of this team.
Yeah.
It's not close. I will say, when you're playing the Cowboys, they'll try to do every little thing to make you think that they're good. I think one thing that kind of stuck out to me was that dome being open. It was weird.
Sun shining down in players' eyes. You could see it on one throw that Jalen had to Devonta that was underthrown big time. But yeah, that was interesting. Jerry, pay them people to close that dang dome. What's going on? Pay them people, Jerry. You got it.
I think another thing that you're starting to see week to week for the Eagles is everybody eats. Everybody's going to eat. Last week, Devontae eats. AJ came out of the game early. Today, Saquon doesn't have as good of a game. AJ made some big catches. Devontae was a little quiet. Goddard scored today. The ball was going all over the place. Jahan Dotson had a big catch down the sideline.
And we didn't see a lot of Saquon in the second half, so they were primarily doing it without him.
I know going into that fourth quarter that once they got up 31-6, it seemed really 28-6. He probably wasn't going to come back in. And
makes sense.
You got to save him. He's a workhorse.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you can give the ball to 30 times a game if you need to, and you might need that in January football.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So going forward, what do y'all see? Who is a possible stopper for this Eagles team?
Whose play isn't good enough to hurt the Eagles down the stretch? I mean, obviously you're going to start to see premier playmakers at the edge position, so we got to get Jordan Mailata back there. But Fred Johnson has been good. I never have any kind of doubt in the offensive line because they're led by the greatest offensive line coach in the NFL, which is Jeff Stoutland. All their backups come in and definitely play well just throughout the season. I mean, I don't think he's going to hurt us. I don't think he'll put us in a bad position, but obviously you want an all-pro caliber player like Jordan Mailata to be out there. Defensively, I mean, they don't have any holes. There's not a lot of holes on this football team right now, I don't think.
Yeah, those dogs are flying around for sure. Got a big one Thursday against the Commanders, who have been a tough out for teams. They did lose today versus the Steelers, but should be a really interesting game. That's going to be at Philly.
Mm-hmm. I guess with I'll shift it back just for a second. I guess if something was to hurt the Eagles on this team, a lot of people would say Nick Sirianni. And I'm just going to be real with it right here. Nick Sirianni has the second best win percentage in the NFL since 2021, since he became the coach of the Eagles. So second best win percentage in the NFL, despite a 1-6 finish down the stretch last year. Andy Reid is first, which I mean, Andy's
awesome. Yeah.
Andy's arguably the best coach to ever do this stuff. So, I mean,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
It speaks for
Top
itself.
ten.
Everybody loves
top five.
Everybody loves Dan Campbell. Everybody loves Kyle Shanahan. Everybody loves Sean McVay. Nick Sirianni's never lost to any of those dudes. He lost to Shanahan one time last year, whenever we started our downward spiral. But I think that's behind these guys, man.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing that we kind of discussed a little bit earlier is can this team keep the momentum going week in and week out? We know last year they had a bit of a downward spiral after the bye week. So the bye week was a little bit earlier this year. Can this team keep the momentum up? Can Sirianni keep these guys locked in the locker room?
I do believe so, and I don't think this team is the same team that was last year. These young guys have grown. They've taken the extra steps. You've seen they put the work in, and I do believe. And I'm gonna say this on camera. I believe this is a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't disagree at all. I think we're getting right back. The difference between this team and the team a year ago is that team in that 10-0 start, right? Or 10-1 start. So they started 10-1, but a lot of those games in those first 11 games were close, like nail-biter games. Like, wow, they really shouldn't have won this one, but they just found a way. And that obviously was coming off of a Super Bowl appearance and losing to Kansas City. But this team is beating teams down.
Yeah.
They're wearing teams down over the course of the game because they're physical on defense. Their linebackers are fast. They're getting after the football. Secondary has ball hawks. Quinyon Mitchell has arguably been the best corner in the NFL this year as a rookie.
Yeah.
Does he get defensive rookie of the year?
He's got to be up there.
For sure.
I don't think it's close.
He needs some interceptions, but I'll say this. Sauce Gardner was the fourth pick of the NFL draft 2 years ago. He was a first-team All-Pro in his first season, and he only had 2 interceptions that year. So, I mean, it's definitely like I'm not just saying defensive rookie of the year. I'm thinking first-team All-Pro. Like, he has been that good.
Yeah. Yeah, that defense is definitely rolling. They've been playing really well. Held the Cowboys to 6 today. Had an interesting game against the Jaguars last week. It was 28-23, so that's the most that a team's really scored on them. Bengals only had 17. The Giants only had 3. So defense has been locked in. Offense has been playing well, too. I mean, I really think this team is rolling right now. They showed it against Dallas, who is not playing very well, not playing good football. But Micah was there. Trayvon Diggs had a pick. Like, they had their guys. So, besides Dak.
They, looking at the Eagles and what happened last week, they took 8 points off. They put 8 points on the board for the Jaguars because Saquon did not fumble. So I don't care what anybody says, that is not a fumble.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, defense only gave up 16 last week. So, but they're on tear. I like where we're at. Bring on Thursday night, man. Like,
should be a fun one.
Give me your score predictions for Thursday.
Well, the Eagles' offense has really been rolling. Commanders lost today, but I do think Jalen Daniels is going to be offensive or rookie of the year in the NFL. So I definitely would say, though, Eagles, I like them 28. Commanders, like 24 or 21. I like the Eagles.
That's close. Close.
What do you say that spread will probably open up. I think it'll open up Eagles like -4.5. So
Yeah.
28-14.
28-14. And defense is locked in. I mean, this could be the toughest defense that Jalen Daniels has had to face.
It might be 10.
So it's going to be a really interesting game. I like Washington this year. I do think they're a little bit early on how good they're going to be years to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Eagles right now are that team to beat. So, well, besides Kansas City Chiefs, but that's another conversation. We don't love to talk about that around here. So, yeah, should be interesting, man.
Yeah, as far as score prediction goes for me, I'm going to say that we get up on them pretty good. I think we'll win this game 31-13.
Wow. You got 10, got 13. I gave them a lot of respect. I said they'd put 21 or 24 on the boards, but
it's like playing your little brother. Like, they're going to score, but
they've been talking that big game today.
It's
It's feeling
great.
good after that.
Oh, yeah.
That Cowboys win.
Hey, it's always good after a Dallas loss. It's always good. Always.
We felt good a lot the past couple months so far. So
For sure.
The only thing about this game that I
Good
didn't
football.
like is that we kind of took our foot off the pedal.
Put in Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I've said it. Dallas wouldn't have did that to, like, they would have kept Zeke in there doing all this crap. Amari Cooper going on fade routes. It's happened.
Yeah.
I felt it. So, like, for us to not do the same thing to them is silly. But
Yeah.
I have Dallas friends who watch this and probably think the opposite, but it is what it is.
we're going to have some fun on Facebook later, for sure.
Somebody got to hear me tomorrow. Just know. Well, it's been another episode of Requesting Good Company. Thank you, Bcov. Thank you, John, for joining. We'll be back at it again like something.
Like never before.
Because we're always requesting good company.
Absolutely.